Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night, and I'm here. I'm ready to write some code and do some things. Let's see what we got here. Yep, there we go. Oh. There we go. Move you over that way a little bit. Cool beans, cool beans. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome. Hope everyone has had a good week so far, and maybe hopefully a good start to your weekend. Hope everything is going well for everybody, and all those things. So, I had asked out on the Twitterverse if people would be interested in seeing me try to write a streaming bot, like a chat bot slash alert bot slash all those things that bots do now for the streamers, on stream. And I got favorable responses. But I gotta say, I was still a bit hesitant despite the favorable responses, because there's a lot of bots out there. A lot of them to choose from, and just felt like I was kind of throwing yet another one out there. But recently, in the last couple of weeks, I've been having nothing but problems with the bots that I use. Esther Labs hasn't been working too well. Stream Elements is not, the alerts aren't going off. Botrix, I can't even get in and get my alerts set up properly for like live space and stuff, and even the alerts I have set up aren't working. Like the chat, the on-screen chat stuff is working, but from what I can tell, at least partially working anyway. But the all the other stuff, the alerts and stuff, just are not firing off for whatever reason. I don't know why. And it's gotten to the point where it's just kind of pissed me off. So it's just kind of pissed me off. And I'm at that point where I'm just like, you know what? It might be time for me to throw my hat in the ring after all, and get a bot together that I will be using. Now, it's easy enough for me to write a bot for myself, because it can be as janky as I want it to be, because I'll be able to navigate it. What's going to be difficult here is packaging it up into a format that anyone could download and use and understand and play with. That's going to be the really challenging part. But having said that, my first and foremost goal is to get a bot for myself that works with Twitch and YouTube, and hopefully eventually live space. I still haven't heard back from them as to whether or not I can get dev access. So I did put an application in, and we'll see. It does not surprise me that I haven't heard anything back, because honestly, I feel like they're still so early in their API development that they're probably looking for more established developers to kind of do their thing and kick the tires and stuff. So I kind of understand that before they kind of open it up to the masses, as it were. But I'm hoping eventually I can at least do YouTube integration. I can at least do a Twitch integration. And hopefully by the time I have those kind of working, maybe live space will be like, hey, here's your API key. Be like, cool. All right. We can work with it. So maybe possibly, that is the way that will go. I don't know. We'll see. In any event, it's not going to be a short and sweet process. It's going to be a long process, just like writing a streaming service is. This one's going to take a little bit. I will say it's less complicated in many ways than a streaming service is. But it's still going to be, there's still a lot of moving parts. And one of the more difficult things, like I said, the packaging of it up into a running application. There are tools to do that, but I also, it's not going to be, I don't plan on having it be a traditional application. So it will run as an application on people's machines, but the interface is going to be inside a browser. Essentially, what I'm thinking of doing is, because my skills are as a full stack developer, web developer, right? Full stack. So why not utilize it, right? I mean, I could jump in and do, Swing interface, Java Swing interface, or the more modern, Java. What was the name of that? The name of that thing? I want to call it JFaces. It's not JFaces. That's like Java. It's some other UI interface that Java started to introduce before they finally kicked it all to the curb, before Oracle kicked it all to the curb. And it's still out there and you still utilize it. And I have used it to some extent, as far as like, it does have like an embedded Chrome browser and stuff, which is kind of cool because you could use that to, like, I use that in particular for some SSO integrations with a fat app that we had at work for a little while there. Was able to go out and grab all the stuff and come back and all those things. But it's, I would rather have the power of the web / the browser to do this stuff. Like I already, like, setting up a web page is pretty darn simple. And really you're going to be serving these up in OBS as browser sources. So one way or the other, you're going to be serving up a web page of some kind, whether you're doing it manually, you're acting as a partial server, or you're doing some other kind of integration, right? So all these bots, that run on your desktop, they all have some kind of server going, in some way, shape, or form, or they have some way that they're interacting with the OBS browser to actually serve up web pages. So my thought is, why go half-assed when you can go full-assed, right? So I am going to do two things. First of all, we need to set up a project, and then we need to make some technology decisions about what I'm going to be doing. And I've been thinking it over, and I'm not going to go full Spring Boot because I still do not like Spring Boot. Even though it would technically make this whole spin up a lot faster, I still don't like it. So I'm still going to do Spring the hard way, quote unquote. However, it's going to be a fat app, so I'm going to have a main class. It's initially just going to be a command line thing. Maybe I'll throw a tiny GUI in there at some point in the future, but right now, for our purposes, it would be basically, something that would run at the command prompt. In Windows, you would still be able to double click it and have it run. It would just bring up a command prompt and write some stuff out, which is no biggie, I don't think. So we'll have that, and then what I'm thinking of is that main class will spin up a database, an embedded database. So we're probably the only one that I know of that would work for our purposes is the H2 database. I'll probably spin that up in embedded mode. And then I'll probably spin up Jetty, which is another server kind of like Tomcat, what I use for Hex and Hex Injet, the Hex project. But it's a lighter servlet container. Doesn't have all the same bells and whistles as Tomcat, but it also runs. It can also be run as an embedded server, so you can actually embed it inside your code and have it spin it up, and then it'll run like a normal web server, and it will be in charge of spinning up Spring, and then Spring will take over, and we'll have just our traditional controllers and web pages and all that stuff. And we'll have the database already running and working. So in theory, I mean, basically you'll have a mini web server running. Now, I believe there's a way to make Jetty only respond to local connections on local host. I believe there's a way to set it up to do that. I'll probably look at that, and I'll definitely try to lock down the security on it as much as possible. But I mean, by and large, it'll be relatively secure because you'll just be using it for your own purposes. There's two good things about that. One is that performance no longer becomes a big issue necessarily, because you're only ever really going to have like one user hitting the pages. So I don't have to worry too much about like database tweaking and all that stuff, because it'll be basically a single user using it. We're not going to have like, massive amounts of users all hitting the same web pages at the same time. So that'll be kind of, but secondly, it'll be a way to kind of utilize skills that I already have. Once we get the initial framework set up, I'll be able to utilize my normal, web development skill set stuff. So that'll make that hopefully a little bit less of a grind. However, say that, and in the Hex project, I've been using Vimeleaf for the view resolver, and I've decided one of the things that we'll be doing at my day job is we're looking for a new UI framework, or new view framework, because the one that we're using is not keeping itself updated. So we've been kind of looking around at a couple things, and one of the things that's been kicked around is maybe moving to FreeMarker. I think I will take this opportunity to try and learn FreeMarker. I haven't used it for really at all. So instead of Vimeleaf for our stuff, I'll probably do FreeMarker in there. Which gives me another opportunity to learn even more things as we're going. So that is the scoop in a nutshell right now. That's a lot to do. There's also some logistics around all of this that I'm going to have to do. Namely, I need to, you don't necessarily need a developer account on Twitch, but I will probably make an account that's just for development on Twitch. And you do need to get like an application key from what I saw. So I'll have to do that. YouTube, I've actually done a little bit of development with, I've played around with some of the YouTube, some of the Google APIs. Did I do YouTube? I think I did some of the YouTube APIs. I was fooling around with some of those, because this is not actually the first time I've tried doing a bot like this. And so I'm fairly fairly familiar with what I need to do to set up, what I need to set up in there. Plus, I already have like dev accounts and stuff in Google's systems there, so I just have to kind of go and make another application and wire it up properly and all those things. We will be doing OAuth. I will be trying wherever possible to do the implicit grant flow, which means I'm trying to keep the OAuth stuff local. So it would be when it redirects, it'll redirect back to your local host, 127.0.0.1, and whatever port I'm running Jetty on. I think that will work. Some companies, like Google in particular, sometimes is a little bit rammy about you using the local loopback as the redirect URI. But I think they still do have a carve out for it where you can use it in a production app. And that will be good. Twitch doesn't seem to care from what I saw in their documentation, so that's good. I don't know whether or not LiveSpace will try to lock that down or not. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably won't, because I know there are some bots that were like pleading with them not to let them have, an OAuth thing, they can do locally. One of the other kind of weird things I have to sort of wrap my brain around, though, is I know that LiveSpace is using Pusher to send its chat messages and events and all that stuff. I believe also that is used by, I know Kick is using it. I think that's also used by Twitch, maybe, possibly. I don't know if Twitch uses it for its chat, but it might use it for like events like subscriptions and follows and all that stuff. I don't know. I'll learn more about that as we get into it, because I haven't played with the Twitch API at all. It looks pretty complete from what I saw. There was a lot of different objects in there. I did a very quick once over of it, but I don't know if it's I don't know if they have like a third-party service that they want you to do. So I bring that up because I know LiveSpace wants you to go through a third-party service, the Pusher. So it looks to me like all I have to do is create an account, and then they have client libraries and stuff. They have a client library in Java and all that stuff that I can use to connect. But there is like an API key, so I don't know. I'll have to reread the LiveSpace documentation and see how exactly that works. Do I put the LiveSpace API key in? I don't think so. I'm not sure how you tell it that you're listening to a particular channel. So it might be just you have to connect to LiveSpace through their API, get the channel ID, and ID is used like as unique, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't quite garner that from the very quick overview I did of the documentation here, but we'll see. That said, my initial plan is for Twitch and YouTube integration. I would like to do LiveSpace integration if they let me in. And that's it for right now. I have no plans to do anything with Kick unless they decide to, grow a pair and actually do some changes to their platform. Technologically, they keep saying that, oh, there's stuff coming, and there haven't been anything coming. So if they happen to grow an API or, a couple brain cells, then I will potentially look at the Kick. So that's not on the list right now. And not really going to try to expand to other things. Don't really have any plans to expand to Trovo or DLive or any of those, because I don't think they're going to be around. I think DLive will be around for a long time because I think it's just a zombie right now. But I don't think Trovo is long for this world, and I don't. Rumble will also kind of hang around in the rafters, but I don't think they're going to be anything worth anybody's time either. So I'm just going to kind of stick with the major ones for now, and maybe later on I'll decide there's more to be done there. But the initial 3 are going to be difficult enough as on their own. So that's where we're at with that. Yeah, so that's a lot, and there's a lot to do. There's a whole big framework we're going to have to set up first. I think first and foremost, we need a repository. So call it used. You mean the readme file, hit ignore. We want just even. Great. License, it'll just be MI. And we put in get ignore now. XML tag? Next. Build number.properties, release.properties. Interesting. I'm just kind of curious what it would put in there. I mean, I can see the release.properties. I don't know. I didn't see reduced palm duck. Well, weird. Anyway. What else do we have? So we've got a repository set up. I can use my regular. Git, push from GitHub. Okay, repositories from Git. Here we go, GitHub. Let's try. Oh, that's not it. Yes. There we go. GitHub to the store. And yeah. Wizard. Even project. Next. The this think the jar. Yep. Damn. More for details. No, what? Ah. Hey, Tech. What's going on there? Oh, you know what? I think I know what's going on. Still on your break from streaming for a few more weeks after your Vegas trip. Get back into some, not doing games. Saying all the parts that you need to do it all. Get back, finish what you need to do. Cool. That sounds good. Sounds good. It'll be good to see you back. When you're ready. You're up to. I know. Let me hide this for a second while I go into like settings and stuff here. What is going on? I think I have to make my token work with that. This oh, I see. One second, everybody. Let's figure this out. Um, lots of buttons to click here. Ones. Can I just? Do I have to click every one of them? Like 20 different permission things. Yes, want permission for. That. Okay, just. Um. Ah. Here. Import projects from Git. Oh yeah. Hang on. Wait, with GitHub. There. Come on. Why is it not? You know, what is the problem? I know you guys can't see anything out. Why is this not? Why is this not? Come on. Strange. There. That's there we go. That's a little bit better. Hang on, let me bring this up now, I think. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm doing some metal smelting and more making stuff. Something different. I don't see anyone doing. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, honestly, anyone who's doing streaming nowadays and trying to make something, I would say you definitely want to get into the creative space, because just being another gaming channel just isn't. There's just too many of it. It's just all noise at the point. And people have pretty much figured out what gamers they want to watch and what ones they don't want to watch. That's not to say you can't also do gaming, but like the main focus on your channel, if the main focus on your channel is going to be like creative, you're probably going to have a better time of it, I think. So that would be great, being able to do like metal smelting and stuff. Like there's someone I saw the other day, they had a camera set up and they were just working on their car in their garage, I think they had like it wasn't a project car, it was a car that was fully built, but it was like, they were just like doing some upgrades to it and, swapping out some things. So, definitely, go for that. 100%. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. So I got this set up. I gotta do it. I do back asswards way of setting it up. What I need though is it's color target. Final name. Framework. So that. Here. Oops. Need it. So that. Framework. Get really API prop and just left for J and log that. We need Hikari for the connection pooling, because we'll still need connection pooling. Have that. Grab some path. Unit. Version 2. Jackson, I will likely need. Yeah, I will 100% fit. Jackson and we want to do liquid base. So liquid base. There we go. Okay, and then let's grab here. Dependency management. Put that whole section. Get rid of need. I need space security right. We'll see. Time goes on there. Then we have, let's see. There. Okay. ABC. What? This here. Easier for me to just copy. Probably also have in Commons Lang will probably be almost positive stuff. So cool. There. Hey Veruda. I love bots to create a ton and play the game that's 100% legit, not against the rules. Best learning experience I've ever had dead because of the algorithm work. Which bot do? I'm guessing it's streaming related. Yep. So, basically, I am trying to do like your run-of-the-mill streaming bot. So, chat commands, on-screen displays of events, and all that stuff. Stuff that I would normally download a regular bot to do, like Caster Labs or any number of them. And it was prompted by two things. One, I had asked on Twitter if anybody wanted to see development of that, and I got a lot of positive responses. But secondly, I'm kind of ticked off by the current crop of bots that I've been using, because none of them are reliable. They're like every other week they're breaking or they're just not working. Like I have like Stream Elements running, I've got, Botrick, I've got all these things set up, and like the chat on screen is working, but like events like driving and all that stuff is not. And yet I have it configured and it's just like, it's completely unreliable. Caster Labs keeps having all kinds of issues where they're like connected to YouTube and then they're not connected to YouTube, and they're connected to Twitch and then they're not connected to Twitch. Just like, it's gotten to the point where it's just pissing me off. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make a bot that is reliable and I can work with. And ultimately my goal is to be able to package it so that other people could use it. But right now it's going to be something I want to use first and foremost. But I am trying to package it up in such a way that others could download it and potentially use it. And I've worked a little bit with the YouTube API in the past. So I kind of know what I'm getting into there. Twitch API I haven't worked with at all yet, but I looked it over earlier and I didn't see any like huge surprises or anything over there. So I think that's good. Heck yeah, get that bot bread. The whole do it yourself, do it right thing is so right sometimes. Yeah, it's I'm just so tired of like things just being, you know, like unreliable. You know, it bothers me after a while. Like I want to start up my stream. I don't want to be stopping every 5 minutes when I'm playing a game to like, you know, why is my events not far enough? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? You know what I mean? Like I'm just want things to just freaking work for a change. But that said, I'm not doing it in the. I'm doing my own thing. I'm not doing it in the traditional way. So it is going to be like a desktop application, but it's really going to be a web server running locally. Which even the ones that are desktop apps now have to have some sort of server component to them. Because OBS, you link them into OBS with a browser, as a browser source. So they're serving up some kind of web pages. So they all have some sort of embedded web server in them that, even though their UIs are probably not coming through that, I'm just going to make it so that the UI and everything is just served through the embedded web server, and then you just control everything through your browser tabs like you would any other bot out there, and go from it that way. That way I'm using knowledge that I already have, and we can kind of skip through some things, and yeah, we'll see where we end up there. But yeah, it's got to the point where I'm just like ticking me off. I'm like, I just want stuff to work, and it's just not. Want all of that over here. And it helps that I've already been through a lot of the initial setup here already, so I can kind of copy a lot of stuff that I've done from Hex here, from the Hex project. I still will be working on the Hex project. It's just we sort of divided my time between both of these. Oh yeah, data faker. Good. Perhaps. I think all I'm missing is the Jakarta annotation API version. Is one and Baker 210 version. Is another. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I got 3 side projects I give love to whenever the feeling is right. I cook it in RPG for 2 years, and the back end is maybe 70% done, but the graphics got to upgrade. Yeah. Well, that's good. I that's another thing that I've had on my brain for a while. Not necessarily. I've thought about, like doing a like an action RPG engine kind of thing. Kind of, the way I've thought about it is, I've wanted to do something. I've wanted to do like an Elder Scrolls type of RPG, but instead of first person, have it be top down, isometric, I guess, slightly. Like an ARPG, and have it operate like an ARPG. So you'd be basically like, all your battles would still be real time and everything else. They wouldn't be turn based and all that stuff. And you'd still be having to dodge and have your spells and all that stuff. And you still have all your RPG stats and everything. And you'd have all the stories and stuff. But instead of being first person or even third person over the shoulder, you'll be top down like an ARPG, which I think is because I like the way that they operate. I like the way that they look because you can always see what you're doing, as opposed to, I guess it'd be kind of like a hybrid, like the traditional RPGs that were turn-based, like Fallout 1 and all that stuff, with them not being turn-based, with them being action-oriented, that kind of thing. Kind of like Diablo with real character developments. Yeah, basically. It would be a lot like Diablo, but with... Yeah, it would be... In my head, it'd be more like a cross between Fallout 1 and... Elder Scrolls Oblivion. It'd be somewhere in between there. It'd be, you wouldn't be first person. You'd be top down like you would in the original Fallout game. It wouldn't be turn based like the original Fallout game was. It would be action oriented. So it'd be kind of, I guess, a closer one to that would be what is the name of that game? Arcana? Hex Arcana? What is the name of that? It was like a steampunk RPG game that I've never played, but I've heard it's like, I've watched some playthroughs of it and it looked really good. But it had like it's almost like, I guess a closer one would be like Neverwinter Nights. Neverwinter Nights was top down. Well, I guess it was isometric, really. And you had the option of doing, and I guess Baldur's Gate was the same way. You had the option of either having real-time combat or you could pause it and do turn-based. In this case, you wouldn't have a pause. It would always be action. It would always be real time, but it would still have all the story and all the all the dialogue options and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And also have the sort of emergent gameplay aspect. So like, you have stuff to do, but you could also kind of find your own adventures and go off on your own. You don't have to do the main quest kind of thing. Sovereign Syndicate. No. What was the name of it? Welcome on in, by the way. No, it was named, let me see if I can look. I think I own it. I actually own it. Do I have it on my desktop, actually? No, I have Fatalis on there. That's not the right one. It was like of Steamwork. It had a long subtitle, like of Steamwork game. Arcanum. That's what it is. Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. That's what I was thinking. Let me bring this on the screen that you guys can see. Yep, that was, yeah, you got it. You got it. This one. Yeah. Gotta go pack for a week-long trip. I'm leaving for tomorrow, so I have a kick-ass trip. Okay, thanks for dropping by, Veruna, and have a good trip. Be safe, all those things, and kick-ass, take names, all that stuff. Yeah, this one, like I like this is more, I think, an isometric view, but I like the sort of top-down view. But this had the way the combat worked in this, I believe, was you could do turn-based, but it was also sort of action point-based, and it kind of, I don't know if time slowed down while you're in combat or if it was real time, but it was sort of a hybrid thing. But yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking of with like the hybrid between turn-based and because in like Neverwinter Nights and stuff, it was never really turn-based. You could pause and then issue orders, but then you had to let it run and then pause again. This one, you could like pause, issue orders, and have those orders run based on your action points. You just see your action points go down a little bit. So, yeah. The game is ancient. Used to watch my dad play. Yeah, no, I've seen some streams of it. One of those games that I've always thought about maybe sitting down and playing someday, on stream. But it's another one of those, like, you know, you could probably spend, 100 hours in it probably if you really wanted to. I mean, it's got the old school difficulty as well, with stuff. So, I don't know. It was one of those things, but that's what I was thinking of. Like a mix between Dragon Quest and Populous. Yeah, that's a mix. Yeah. Yeah. Populous from a visual perspective and from a semi sandbox perspective. Yeah, and then Dragon Quest from the RPG through and through perspective. Yeah. I thought about that, and obviously I'd want it to be like have a sci-fi theme because I love sci-fi stuff. So it would be kind of like a Shadow. Not Shadowgate. Shadow Run. Be like a Shadow Run type world. Although maybe not steampunk, but more like I guess closer to like I guess you kind of have to. I guess you either go. I guess when it comes to sci-fi stuff, you either go full bore, peaceful, or you do steampunk, or you do diesel punk, I guess. I wonder if there's another like sci-fi genre that you could do in a game that doesn't fall into those kinds of things. Because there's not a whole lot. Like, there's like Wing Commander, which ostensibly is sci-fi. I don't know what you would call it, like normal sci-fi. Because there, obviously it's alternate reality stuff, but it's not like, there's not oppression and stuff going on Earth. Earth is united and all that stuff. It's more like, it's just you're fighting this epic Star Wars esque battle, you know, without all the political intrigue and stuff that goes with Star Wars. So I got those over. Wait, did I everything here? Let me put a little marker here. Keep all the test dependencies together there if I can. Oh, what? Paste this in here. I pasted this twice. How'd that happen? Yeah, I did. Dependency version for Jakarta servlet, Jakarta servlet, guide, Dart. You don't need one for that because you're saying scope provided. Yeah, whatever. Usually with sci-fi, I see like Dune, Star Wars type sci-fi, future ancient, Mad Max, but in the future, sci-fi, and Neo, futures now, sci-fi. I think classic utopia, dystopia type. Yeah. Yeah, I get. Yeah. It's. And I mean, like, as far as games go, like you get sort of that future ancient, not only with Mad Max, but you get it with the Horizon series as well. So that kind of falls into there. And I don't know where Ultima fits. Because if I'm not mistaken, Ultima 2, maybe 3, one of those actually had like spaceships. Like it was kind of, it was a weird mix of like, you had swords and swords and boards, but also had like spaceships and things in there. Maybe that was Ultima 4, maybe? Because Ultima was Origin Systems, and I remember there was an Easter egg where they put like a Kilrathi ship from Wing Commander. I think somewhere in like Ultima 4 maybe, or something like that, that you could find. That was one. Yeah. You know, I think that would be an interesting, like, my other thing with it though is I like persistence as far as like having a base of some kind that sort of grows with you, that shows your progression through a game. So my thought was also that like it would be this sort of open world RPG thing, but you would basically run, you know, there'd be some sort of galactic war going on, and you would be running a space station like on an asteroid. And it would start off as like a very small station, kind of like what you see in Everspace 2. But as you progress, one of your tasks is to kind of recruit more people, hire more people once you have money, and then also like send them on mission. Where you can say, hey, I need you to go, like here's some tasks. So it'd be kind of like it'd be also like XCOM, I guess, in that regard. You know, where you have these missions on the board that you need to do or can do for resources and other things, and then you could just kind of send your squad off. But instead of actually controlling the squad, you would just send them off, and they would either come back successful or not. You know, the concept sounds kind of like that space MMO. I'm sure somebody has done pieces of this. You know, I'm definitely not. This is definitely not a like brand new thing. You know, it's just kind of something that I've wanted to see for a while. Is like, there's been a lot of games that have a lot of these elements, but not necessarily all of the elements the way that I would want them. You know what I mean? I mean, development nowadays is nothing if not, you know, building on the past, taking a bunch of ideas that you've seen in other games and kind of making them your own kind of thing. But there's definitely elements of that in other. Well, I wouldn't do an MMO or anything like that. It would be strictly single player. Because I don't want to do the networking side of that. Number one, and number two, too many indie devs think they're going to be the one that breaks through in the MMO area, and far too many of them find out very quickly that it's a lot harder to break out in an MMO space than they realize. You know, for every, you know, successful title, there are thousands that just die off very quickly in the MMO space because, you know, they either don't get traction they need, or they do get traction but they can't keep the servers running, and then the servers become too expensive and they don't have the monetization down. But then if they put monetization in, you know, it's now suddenly it's pay to win. You know, it's just a endless cycle of things that just strive to make you not successful. You know, they think they're gonna recreate the wheel when they don't even like creating in the first place. Some of that is the case. I think it's more of a, if you're making an MMO, reality becomes, reality is the hard mistress. Right? It's like you're constantly faced with the reality of actually doing it. Like, you know, coding and everything is, you know, it's not bad, fairly straightforward. You know, there's challenges, definitely. You know, there's rollback netcode and all kinds of things you need to kind of dig into. It's the logistics that ends up like bringing you back down to earth, right? It's like, oh yeah, we got this thing and it's great and it's awesome. We've been playing it around the office. It's awesome. You know, we're all enjoying it. And then, you know, you try to push that out to the public, and then all the problems happen. You know, oh, we got hackers. Oh, we've got, you know, people selling cheats. Oh, we've got people selling in-game currency for real money. And, you know, we got real money auction houses spinning up around the place, and people are trading skins for money, and we now have to have a policy in place to stop that from happening. And, you know, it's just, reality just kind of comes in and just crushes all of your dreams and hopes. And then you realize you're not bringing enough money in to pay for all the people that you now need to manage all that stuff, or to even pay for the hardware to manage all that stuff. And it's just like too many fall into that trap. You know what I mean? Like everything in his grandmother now is like a multiplayer game, and it's just like, I don't think you understand the problems you're about to bring upon yourself, you know? And I get it too, like, you know, multiplayer games are popular for a reason. Most people want to play against others, or they want to be competitive and all that stuff. You know, I'm kind of an outlier in that I just like to play single player games, or I prefer, if I'm going to do a multiplayer game, I prefer it just to be PvE, you know, a co-op experience where you're not fighting other players, you're fighting against the environment. You know, like a Helldivers 2 kind of. Like that to me speaks better to me than PvP stuff, because I'll never play enough of the game to ever be good at it. And so it's, you know, you kind of are like, why bother? You know, I'm casual through and through. I don't have that much, you know, that kind of time throughout the day to like actually get good at something when it comes to games. You know, I just want to sit down for 20 minutes and make some sort of progress. You know, where, you know, even in failure, I think some progress should be made. You know, give you a, you know, it won't be as good a reward as you would get for success, but it'll be something. You know, that's kind of the thing that sort of ticked me off about. Like, I know that there's a revival out there of City of Heroes, and I've wanted to go and sit down and actually fire it up, because I still have a copy of it, and play it on that server. But I remembered the thing that really drove me away from that game was that whenever you failed, you got essentially negative experience. And you would build up this experience point debt. And in order to keep progressing your character, you'd have to win enough times to overcome that experience point debt, and then come back into the positives that you actually start progressing again with your XP. And I remember at one point, I just hit a wall, you know, where I was doing it solo, and I just hit this wall that I could not get through. I was, you know, dying repeatedly, and my XP bar, half of it was grayed out as being experience point debt, and it had gotten to the point where I could not progress my character at all. There was just no way it was going to happen, because I had accumulated so much debt that it would have been better to just roll a new character. And I remember getting so frustrated by that and just leaving the game and never coming back to it. So, you know, that's one of those things where, you know, a lot of the, you know, games will tend to punish those who don't spend, who are casual, or who haven't spent a ton of money to boost themselves ahead of others. And that's the part that kind of drives me back to my single player games where I don't have to deal with that stuff quite so much. Okay. So we've got our initial stuff here. Let me get so for properties, Tyler. Why is 1-7? Now is 7. Did not. No, I have 17. Compiler compliance level 17. Why is it saying 7? Oh. What is wrong with you, Eclipse? Why are you saying 7 here? Power. Oh, it has project-specific settings. That's E17 now, right? Yeah, 17 there. Guess I gotta get it on the build path. Oh. Library. Not under here. Oh, Jerry system library. Right in front of my face. Right in front of my face. Workspace default Jerry. There we go. That is more like it. Also generated the source main and source test folders for me. That is very sweet. Cool. Cool. All right. We got that working for us. So all the unseen variables plus issues with money time, etc. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, yeah, let's just pile all that stuff on top of us. Right in front of my face. Story ever struggle with using Python. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what happens a lot with just anything, right? You're just like, you have so many options, and it's funny because as devs, we write some of the crappiest interfaces for other devs. You know what I mean? Like, we'll go out of our way to write decent interfaces for non-developers, but when it comes to other developers, we're just like, yeah, whatever, just give them every freaking button. Yeah, we'll just shove it under a menu. Yeah, do this and do that. It's like, we make the crappiest interfaces for ourselves and for our fellow developers, and because we're just like, yeah, they'll figure it. It's funny to me. And I like, by and large, I like Eclipse. I know most people would prefer IntelliJ. And I've looked at it. I don't like the way it's laid out. I don't like the UI. It's too, things are just kind of scattered all over the place. Whereas in here, what I like about Eclipse is I have perspectives. I can just switch between perspectives, and I can keep my Java perspective nice and clean. And then if I need something else from a different thing, like from the debug perspective or Git or whatever, I can just, I can switch to that, and then I can close it out when I don't care about it, you know? Whereas with IntelliJ and stuff, it's like everything's like all around the sides of the screen. And now I say that, but then someone introduced 2 source menus at some point here. I think there was a plugin that had like 2 source menus up here at one point, which is driving me nuts. But yeah, it's kind of why I stick with this. It's got, to me, a cleaner interface, even if it's got some flaws and other things that kind of IntelliJ doesn't have, and it's a little bit harder to get some plugins, certain plugins, but it's just like, it pays for itself in me being able to like rock what's happening at those points here. So what we want to do now, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm going to need the initialization stuff. Like DB config and all that stuff. We'll get there in a minute. I want to, first of all, we want Jetty. Java, Jetty. Okay, go. Yeah, you get it. Code. My motto is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. Ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Where are they up? The Jetty 12. So I want to. I guess it's so. Repository. See. Work Eclipse Jetty. Server. Oh no. I need like all broken up server, servlet. No. What do I need? 1208. When do I use? Yeah. But I'm more interested in about the Maven. They have operations guide. I'm gonna need, but then okay, that's the documentations in Maven. Okay. Application. Can we? Where is the? Start mechanism. Into these, but I want to get loading Jetty. More files. Okay. I have a section for Maven here. I'll need to. I definitely want to start it up from my own thing, but this is the Maven Jetty plugin that will allow you to run Jetty from Haven, but I don't want that. I don't need that. I want to run it myself, but what library do I? What I want to know is what library do I need? Tools. The mail server. Yay. Logging. Boing. Day start, which I won't be using. Module. Oh, for the feature. But we have here, we have Getty server. Servlet. 11:20. Oh, the legacy Jetty server artifact. Well, it doesn't look so legacy to me. It just got updated. Edited. What do they say to do? Let's see, they're bringing down server and servlet. Server, but well, I'll need actually. You know what? I will need the Jetty servlet. I can't use the other thing. Blocking servlet. Creation new server. Thread cell timeout, full server constructor, threads for specific thread. We have Jetty server and Jetty servlet. We also have, I feel like I need all of those. I don't know what Jetty Util has. Jetty WebSocket? I don't think I need to do anything with WebSocket. At least not yet anyway. Alright, let's roll. Usages. $11,020 has the most. What did they say here about which ones you should use? Jetty 12 is the only community supported version of Jetty at this point in time. Has great many improvements. While we continue to use older version of Jetty like 11.10.9 for a variety of reasons, we recommend using Jetty 12. Note that 12 is the only version that will receive support from open source community. Okay, well, I guess that answers that question. What's bothering me though, when I look at Maven repository, this is 1208. Copy that. Oh, bring. That. This in here. And then I look at servlet, and that's still at 11,020. There's no 12. That has me a little bit perturbed. Let me just bring server down and see if it brings other artifacts with. Wondering. Say then right. Or dependency hierarchy. We'll look at city. That brought in Jetty HTTP, Jetty Util, and Jetty IO. But nothing about server. So for the web app, which is also pinned at 11,020. Oops. So 1208, 1207, 12. There we go. New environment. Ports DE1098. Okay. Oh, The Jetty 11 to 12 migration knocks for help finding a new Maven coordinates for East. For East. Jetty core no longer has any dependencies on any Jakarta East spec. Huh. Version changes. Artifact changes? The web stock is a sterling. Oh, org clip Jetty EE 10. Jetty EE 10 server. Ah, I see. They've changed the coordinates. That's why I'm not seeing it. Clip. It was. What's Jetty EE? What's Jetty? Ah, here we go. So EE10. And then here's, oh, utility servlet. There's servlet. There's 12 of them. Okay. Well, I was going crazy here. All right, so that. But it didn't make that easy to find, did it? And then web. I don't know if I'm going to need web app or not, but I'm going to bring it in for right now. And then edit version up here. All right, make sure that those come down. All right, dependencies. Dependency fire. Edit E10. Web app. It looks like Jetty E10 web app brings server, which would make sense. Kind of. Yeah, it brings in Jetty E10 servlet, so I can get rid of that. That one, and then let that come in as a transitive dependency here. For the Jetty server. Jetty E10 web app brings in Jetty E10 servlet, all of that, which actually itself brings in Jetty server 1208. So really, I just needed the Jetty E10 web app thing, and it brings in Jetty session, which brings in Jetty server. So and update things here. JEE and web app, and then we see Jetty server here, Jetty security session. Oh. Work for me. There is a part of me that's like, I should just bring in Jetty server directly anyway because I'm going to be using it directly, but I'd rather not manage multiple. I'd rather have this bring in what it actually, instead of me ending up accidentally overriding versions on something. Or overriding, I should say, versions on things. Okay. And then the next one gonna be to database. Is this one? H2 database, I believe. Database engine. Yeah, h2database.com. Yep, that's it. 2.2.224. Wait, where did that come in as? Oh, I know. It's they don't consider H2 database. They bring it in as test. It's meant to be like test, but we're gonna make it production. Alright. So far so good there. What's gonna be? I guess it's not. I was gonna say what would be tricky is deploying it in a way that I can test things, but yeah, I guess it would be nice. It would be nice to be able to just deploy the war file. Just deploy the war file so that I can I can test it. I could test it in Tomcat if I wanted to. It wouldn't matter. There's a war file at that point, and then just I can make stuff work in there, and then just the larger thing can be separate. I didn't even think of that. Didn't even think of that. That's a darn good point. I mean, that's the one advantage is that I can just test. I can test the logic separate from the actual package that spins it up. So, like the Magenta Breeze project could be. I don't want to keep it all together though. I could do a multi-module project, but it'll be easier, faster. I don't know. Do it as separate things here. Yeah, I just had that thought right now. Let's doing here. Let me make sure. Yeah, 224 is the latest. All right. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to do. New. Freeze. Give me file. Even. And like. And 8. Good. Okay. I gotta jump through this other hoop here. 1 second while I'm gonna hide the screen for a second here. This is while I add this to other thingamabobber. Okay. And that one. No. Cool, that was easy. So once you've generated stuff at that point. There we go. All right, bring the screen back up again. This over here. Let's go. Hit open. Clone of. Actually, I could just search here, right? These are. Fish. And project. Cool. Then we just come in here and this figure even project and memory leak death. Magenta use or file that stuff. So really the stuff I just did with the Tom over here really going to come over. I don't think I'm not going to need spring or any of that. I'm going to need enough to spin up the project. Ooh. Actually, I don't even need file name and stuff like this. Here. Here. You know what? It's easier to copy everything and then just remove things. I don't. So here. Boom. All right. So this actually, I need all of this except for city version I don't do. Servlet. These. That's the war. Over here, it's kind of the opposite. Don't need final name because that's what you would name your war. Bring framework version or the Servlet API version. People could use SLF4J and log back the unit. Hand press JSON path probably. Liquid base. No, well, yeah, I actually probably will use that here because I'll have to kick it off programmatically to build the database. That probably will stay here, but I won't have it. Yeah. I think I'll put the database script in this project, and then in the war file, it won't need them. So I think that's correct there. But I don't need Jetty or I do need Jetty. So we can get rid of it. Framework on. ABC. I don't need. Pretty sure I will. I probably don't need Jakarta. Get rid of Jackson and Jakarta applications. And need test. That's probably be more to remove there. I don't know. I have some tests and stuff to look at, but I have that. Question now is, how do I link in? Or Oh. I can just... I can make it a dependency. Yeah, I can just make it dependency. I can say, I'll probably make it the same version of it. So we'll say here, let's see. Well, it's going to be weird to be. It'll work. It'll have to be deployed, sort of, but let's see. ID is def effect ID freeze war and version and project. I'll set that up as a local dependency here. Over here, properties. There. And my library, Jerry's library, finish. Close. That one. Open project. That works. So it's pointing at 17 for it. Can I do maybe an update project here and not have it yell at me? Apparently I can. All right, that works for me. That works for me. All right. That's the base. It's very, very basic. I need to. This is good because it sort of divides up the work mostly. Be really good. Because by having this as its own war file now, I can just deploy this war file independently to like Tomcat and verify it's working. Use that as my main development thing, and then come back and test everything in Jetty, which I don't expect there to be a big difference between Jetty and Tomcat in that regard, because we're just using basic servlets at the end of the day. So that'll be good. And then all the packaging stuff would be in the top in that main project, which would be good. I'll keep all that separate. And all of my database migrations will be in here. Also kind of keep them separate would be kind of nice there. Because ideally what I want to happen is ideally what I want to happen is, because I got to think about like updates, right? So ideally what I want to happen is you select a directory for the database to live in on your local machine. And then whenever the server, before the server fully spin, well, I guess the server would kind of have to spin up a little bit there. Or I'd have to bounce the server kind of thing. But it is embedded, so I should be able to like handle the life cycle of the server, hopefully. But basically, you have that in your own, in a different folder from your installation, and then when the app starts up, it'll just run all the database migrations against that database. And Liquidbase will know, like I can kick that off programmatically, and Liquidbase will only migrate the things that have changed. It's the last time it did it, because it stores all the stuff that it did in a database table itself. So that might work. Might just work. Be pretty good. And I don't have to like reinvent the wheel at all with that, which would be rather nice. Assuming I get it to work. Yeah, so the hardest part of this, well, it'll be, so the war file will be on the class path. Be able to just assume that the war file's on the class path and then just run through Getty stuff. That would probably work. One of the more difficult things of this though is database, because I'm using an embedded database. I won't always have the database. The database won't always be running. But the war file is going to need the database running. And I need to figure out a way to have that database kick off and run in such a way that not only can the war file access it when I'm doing development stuff, but also I can access it with my own, usually with my own database tool. So I want to be able to access it in a data set. Here. I guess there would be maybe there'd be like a Maven. Maybe there's a Maven coordinate I could use. That particular one. We have, right? Oh, I actually don't. Interesting. Other than, I guess I would just do generic deities. That would work. They don't have a way of like fitting one up. Which is interesting because they have like a way of spinning up Derby, which is also a embedded database, and SQLite embedded database. They don't have H2 on here though. I wonder. Actually, that's a good question. Do it in JetBrains. Using a URL, remote in-memory embedded for more information about these modes. Official. Yeah. Oh. Huh. I don't think they have a way of setting it up. That's not what you have it programmatically do it. But they have. See, they have it like this where you can say like ABC to test, data test. Well, that's. It still needs to be started for those to be. For those. Start the H2 console tool, double click the jar file, or run Java jar H2 jar. That, I mean, that works too. You can just double click the jar file and that would start it up. Or interesting. Let's see if there's an easier way. Database. Yeah. Project. Huh. Okay. Boot an H2 in-memory database. Yeah. To the console. During development test. Yeah, I mean, that's running it from there. do even or these yeah. 15 years ago. Um, even plug in 13 years ago. This doesn't work. All right, 3 and still plug in. Equal Maven plugin. So what? I mean, yeah, I can make it so that spring starts it up like they have here with the beam definition. But it's, I mean, that basically means I'd need to then run migrations and stuff. Which, you know, run the migrations on startup, which I could potentially do. Oh. Yeah, yes, I could do it there. I would kind of rather have it spun up already before spring starts, but yeah, might be what I do. That might be what I have to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to create it, or yeah, start it inside the war project, and then run the migrations from there, which keeps all that stuff together, I guess. So, and then the wrapper would only, the main project would just be starting up the server, which you need to run the war file, and then handling whatever I want to do for packaging it up into like an executable. So, excuse me. Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do. I wonder. Completion, director. Are you using console? Database driver, create new databases. The database create automatically. Oof. Auto creation database enabled. Okay. Edit mode. So connection to your application when it start or session start. Database can be accessed from multiple sessions applications at the same time as long as they run the same process. Problem. Idea open database from when the application starts, close it when it stops. And the application and ideas use one connection per session or even one connection per request. But it's similar on the server in another process. Slip it to your web XML file. DB starter. If your server container is already certified compatible, use the following snippet instead. Part of DB starter. Starter Java by default. This tool opens an embedded connection using database URL test. When you use this connection with your server, you can follow those. And also start the TCP server. Enable by default. To enable it, you can parameter XML. Start. All right. Beast. Or command tools, go tool. Oh, web start. Don't need that. Using connection pool. Connection pool improves performance. Open close connections a lot. There are more complex open source connection pools available. Okay. I'll use my own connection pool for that stuff. Or while using the Akari connection pool. I'm pretty sure it does work with it. Okay. Okay, well, that's what that's gonna have to be, I think. Means we need to pull out of here into here. All right. Playing about something here. I think he's playing that this doesn't have a version, but doesn't one. Okay. Over here, I've removed that. Stuff. It also means I don't need liquid based one. Another one? Over here, right? No, it's not. Okay. So move it from there. Don't have the artifact for it. Oh, you know what? I don't, because I put it in there and I never copied it over. Sorry. Yeah, what did I have in the other one? Copy it, why not? Make sure I have the same thing. Find it. Oh, because it's a build. Yeah, here it is. Well, not all of it. I don't really need. We're gonna need multiple profile. I'm gonna get away with just one profile for the moment. Here. And I'm not gonna do any of the doc for this particular case. That key tool I will need. Front end NPM stuff I do want to do that. For all the node stuff. Oh. That. More. Did need a one more. Safe. plug in style. Plug in. Gonna be dependent on not Postgre, but on you here. That resources filtered. Final name there. Add a first name. Main. Folder versus third.
Look above the azure blue. Who would think that this world was at its end and its fate belongs to you? Pressing on
Third.
are those who discourage you. Trials, there's more than just a few.
Build path where
Each new day has a challenge of its own, but the light will see you through. Go left, go right, start
Boy,
another
that's
fight, come back, stay
very
another night, you'll find your way. Right now, somehow, take another chance again, turn it right around. We're here to stay.
path
Family, you're in trouble, come back to
here.
another day. With the means to overcome what's in front of you, and even what you cannot see,
Add folder.
you do well to remember all of those who have saved your memories. Go left, go right, start another fight, come back, stay
I guess it doesn't matter. Just how it looks. It doesn't show up with like the green icon, but still correct here. All that is fine here. This should download Node now and stuff and make all those Node folders. Good. Bring down. I don't have anything in there yet, but will. That's clear, and then what do I need from this? I think I just need the build. Build plugins. Gonna need those. Well, and the Surefire failsafe. Probably.
So if any other trouble comes back to find yesterday, beyond the horizon, look above the azure blue.
So over here we
Who would think that this world
build.
was at its end and its fate belongs to you, my friend.
And I mean, yeah, I guess textile on there too. Those. Need anything else there? Failsafe floating cannot be. Oh. Have that somewhere up here. Okay. Here. Management. Have it in there. Probably okay. It's probably okay. These team even the oh. Seems to be happier. So there's that. Here. Oh, yeah, over here it's still saying doesn't know what it is. Oh. That no project. Now it knows what it is because it's actually in the correct section. Amazing how that works. All right. We got to do some initialization with the war file. We'll have to do stuff with this well, but I'll have to do that right away. Right away, I just need to get the like war file kind of to the point where I can deploy it to a server, and then we can work on another one too. I'm actually spinning up a server for it. So where do I begin? That's really the question right now is where do I Because half the problem is that you need to. I want to be able to present a. Like, if the database doesn't. This. No. How's this going to be packed? Yeah, this is the real question. Because I don't. Part of me is like, I don't want to have to prompt the user to tell me where to start the database. Because that's not going to make any sense to most people. So I kind of want to, you know, just pick a spot for it. Problem is, I also want to make sure that it goes somewhere that isn't like if you do an update, if you update your version, that you don't accidentally overwrite the database and lose all your settings. It's going to be a. Yeah, I have to see how that works. Because it's going to. My thought is that you would just download an MSI installer file, and then that install file would figure out. Like, you would point it at your same directory that the other thing was at, and it would figure out, don't overwrite this one thing, which I guess, if it's not anywhere, if it doesn't exist anywhere in the manifest for that, then I guess it wouldn't overwrite it. Yeah. Thing is, worst part of this is that it's not going to know the directory on the hard drive first. Well, that's easy fix. I can just, in the launcher program, I can just say, what's my current launch directory? And then pass that as a JVM variable down when I call Jetty run. And I just have to make sure that's set up properly when I do it here from Clips, which isn't a difficult thing to do either. You can set as your launch argument for Tomcat. Yeah, okay. I think that's not insurmountable. Alright. Alright, let me take a quick break here. Bio break plus also stand up and stretch for a minute or two. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes, my friends. Please for you to enjoy the music while I'm going. So I'll be right back, friends. Okay, friends, I am back, and I decided, on my short walk down the hallway. Didn't even see that. Well, that's the interesting. Have to keep an eye on that. Have to keep an eye on that one. Anyway, I guess it's good that my alerts weren't working because that was an interesting one there I didn't know about. But yeah, I decided on my short walk down the hallway that I am actually kind of tired right now. I'm actually dragging my ass. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of let's get what I've got, the little basic framework I've got right now. And we'll pick this up again tomorrow afternoon. And we'll have a much longer session tomorrow afternoon, most likely. And then tomorrow night, I'll be doing some gaming with friends. I don't know. I think it would probably end up doing Power World, is the rumor, but I don't know. I don't know if we're doing that or Stardew Valley or Deep Rock Galactic or whatever the case may be. But that'll be Saturday night. And then I think Sunday afternoon, I believe I'm going to be doing some more coding. I don't know if I'm going to probably be doing this project and not doing the Hex project. I'll probably just take a little short break from the Hex project, pick this up, and try to get over this initial hump maybe, and start to see this sort of come together a little bit. So that's probably what we'll do. And then maybe next week I'll switch off between, Hex and Magenta Breeze here. So I think that's what we'll try to do. Let's go and commit this. First of all, we don't need all those. I'm going to do more folder. There. Those and initial project. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if this is going to force me to use the other credentials I have. It is. They haven't made a session for multiple tokens. All right, well, let's live and we learn here. Let's fix that right now for a second. One. Not doing me any good right now. And that. Okay, and see if that will now let me commit, maybe. Or let me push. Yep. Now. I can't have multiple GitHub tokens. At least as in Eclipse, which is a bit of a problem. Hope they fix that at some point. Commit. Folder. Boom. All right. Initial commit. Cool. All right. So these should now be out. GitHub. There we go. Initial project commit happened for those things. Here as well. Good. I'll need to configure these for Pendabot. Do I do that under? Let me just hit weird under here. App? Oh, good security analysis. Ah, here we go. Before messed up, and we want to do alert and for security update. Well. Security updates will result depend automatically attempt to request the result. Every open dependent alert with skill. Oh no, actually, you know what? I think I know what that means. I'll just leave the polls. Version. Your dependencies update when new versions are available. Yes. Right. Helmet. The too, right? Well, file. Oh, that's Maven, right? Amazon registries, reviewers, milestone. Directory. I guess not. I guess it figures it out. Oh, here we go. Package. Add one package ecosystem element for each package manager you want to monitor for new versions. Maven. Package ecosystem is Maven. That's. I knew they had it there somewhere. Is good. we're good there for now on that one. And then at some point I could probably put it in Circle PI as well, but I'm not that at the moment here. Let's just get Penabot alerts going at the same pace. Okay. Why didn't ask me that time for it? Why is that? Oh, okay. I had version. That's all right. I'm like, what did I do differently? What did I do differently there? There we go. Cool. All right, so that should now be working and up to date, kept up to date by Dependabot, all of those things. Let me see what. Head over here. Oh, I added one for NPM over here too. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to do that. But no biggie. Anyway, that's what we have so far, my friend. Jeez. All right, Penabot already ran. Holy crap! I just turned it on. It's like, oh, you got a pull request. Oh yeah, I gotta do this. 1 second here. Print is leash. Oh, you know what? I don't. Fine. Okay. Like, it's so early in the project, I don't want to like lock stuff down and say this requires pull request right now. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do it for me for tonight, my friends. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, probably later in the afternoon. I'll try to do the normal 3 o'clock, but we'll see how it goes. It's been kind of drifting to 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern time. Just really depends on how fast I get everything together and get myself together and get ready to go. So there's that. Let's see if anybody is live right now on Livespace I can send you over to. Oh, you know what? Shin is live right now. With some Helldivers 2, as we were talking about earlier. I believe he's playing with Overlord Cornet, if I'm not mistaken. Will. So I will put the link in the chat there. You can go check him out on Livespace and all that stuff, and say hello and all those things. But yep, that will otherwise do it for me, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. Hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, goodbye.